All right. So thank you so much for coming to this meeting. I'm going to also record this to the cloud. So, so I've got this new book of 24 arrangements. So arrangements of 24 children's songs based on nursery rhymes. And I've been using them in my classes and also sharing them with, well, Three Chord Thursday. We did a session on that. That's a weekly thematic song session. And also getting comments from published authors and ukulele teachers. And each of these songs has a accompany illustration you could use to color in. And I just want to share with you today what it's all about. So this is the new cover, which has Humpty Dumpty holding a ukulele. The ones that I printed in August, and also the Hyperlinked Pdf version doesn't have ukulele anywhere on the cover. And the title, Fun with Uke Book, and then Songs for Everyone, basically in volume 1, this is what this is because we have plans for volume 2 and volume 3. And it's a coloring book, and Eve Miles did the illustration. So I want to share with you what the hyperlinked PDF version is like. So let's see, do you see? Yeah, here you go. Just share that. Okay, so the inside cover is, as usual, black and white of the outside cover, and the bottom right hand side, if I just click on it, it will go to the table of contents page, and the bottom left hand side, if I click on it, will go to the classification 2 pages. So a table of contents, you could download a 24 page PDF from my website, and I'll give that later. And it will have the cover, the black and white cover, table of contents about the authors, all the way down to Are You Sleeping, alternative accompaniments, and then 2 other songs, Row, Row, Row Your Boat and Skip to My Loop. So let's take a look at this book, about the authors, and then I'll go to the next page. So that's me and Eve. Introduction, how to use this book. Now this is really important for teachers, or if you want to use it to teach yourself what's contained in the book. One of the things I noticed that when I gave it to very young children and they start looking at it, when they see the text, they become disinterested. They're not interested in the text. But this really talks about the different ways you could use these 24 songs. So let's take a look at classification of 24 songs. There are actually 13 2-chord songs. And so you could see by looking at the keys whether it's in one key or whether it modulates. And then also the different levels. Now, I have it level 1 to level 4. Level 1 is the easiest. Level 4 is the hardest. Now, some of these you'll see, like Hush Little Baby is a 2-chord song, but I gave it level 3. And that's because I have a chord melody arrangement in there. Okay? And a Hickory Dickory Dock, it's a 3-chord song. It's a waltz. Why is that level 4? It's because I've introduced left-hand techniques, and that's why it's level 4. Farmer in the Dell, it's got 5 verses, and it's level 1. It's a 2-chord song. Okay, so for the tempo marking, now I think maybe I should use half note to reduce the BPM, the beats per minute. but I tried to make them all consistent so you could roughly see which one is faster. Like, for example, let's see, all of these are quarter note equals whatever. So quarter note equals 96 will be the slowest, whereas quarter note equals 212 or even 240, that's much
Well,
faster.
if I can make an observation about
Yeah.
it's raining, it's pouring 240, that probably means it's 80. I mean, in the sense that if it's in 3/4, you're beating, you're like 1 to 3, 1 to 3,
Yeah.
1 to 3, 1 to. So I'm guessing that's why it comes up. It's not really 240 because it sounds like a slow song because it's
Yeah.
actually in 80 from if you're beating it in one.
Yeah. I just kind of wonder whether I have it correct here. 240. That's, yeah.
That sounds, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds a bit dubious. Okay. Um, yeah. Whereas, yeah, here, Itsy Bitsy Spider, I wrote dotted quarter notes. So it's not all consistent, but it's just a rough indication. And for a lot of these, I could have written it in 6/8 time for the 3/4 time, or 6/8 I could have written in 2/2 time, or mulberry bush it could have been 3/4 time instead of 3/8 time. I think the whole time signature thing is just to show the different ways you could express uh, the way you would count a song. All right, so if I take a look at, see, Itsy Bitsy Spider, I wrote it in 6/8 time, and I gave it two different verses, what the Americans know as Itsy Bitsy Spider and the English know as Incy Wincy Spider. And since then, I've also found out that actually Pop Goes the Weasel, the two verses I have in there are actually American, what Americans know. But there's another version that the British know, Pop Goes the Weasel. So level 4, because there's a lot of left-hand techniques and chord melody. Let's see, Shoe Fly Don't Bother Me. It's just really lead sheet. A lot of them, all of these have just the melody, basic, but then sometimes I add more chord melody in there. Sometimes I give more than one verse so that you get a chance to practice it more. So this is one. Now Skip to My Lou, I did something a bit more different. Let's see, Skip to My Lou, I have it in F and D, so you could choose, and it's got left hand techniques in there too, only in that there's a hammer on, and I gave it 8 verses and chorus, but I say it's level 1 because of all the songs, all the 2 chorus songs, I would say Skip to My Lou is the easiest because, let's go there to look at why is it the easiest. It's very predictable in that every 2 measures you change chords. Not like London Bridge is Falling Down, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, or Mary Had a Little Lamb, where it stays in the same chord. Then it suddenly it stays in the same first chord. Then it changes to the second chord briefly, but then you have to quickly change back to the first chord. Here it's predictable, 2 measures per chord. Very predictable. Here, this is where you can, so the top left hand corner, I have suggested strum patterns. And then here you could stay on the same F chord, or you could go to another version of the F chord. I don't know if,
I was wondering why you had the
yes.
F chord repeated. Okay.
Yeah. Do you see my cursor when I move around? Or now you see it? Yeah. This is just so you could create a chord melody version. So sometimes I have the chords corresponding to, what you see in the tabs to help you. Yeah. And sometimes I don't. So if you're using this to teach, then you would want to, consider, the easiest is just use this F chord. Don't bother changing to that F chord. Okay. And what happens later? Oops, I can't scroll, if I do this, oh, here we go. Yeah. And then there's the hammer-on effect here, right there. And then if I go to the D major one, it's just something different. Yeah. Lost my partner. Oh yeah, I also changed the verse too. In the first version in F, I have lost my partner, and then I'll get another one. But in the second one, I add other things. The first verse is flies in the sugar bowl, little red wagon, pigs in the parlor, rats in the bread box. So it's just very colorful, basically illustrating what was in the illustration. You see flies in the sugar bowl, rats in the bread box, little wagon painted blue, and pigs in the parlor and all that. And let me just go back to the beginning. Oops, I should be able to, if I scroll down, then I get it. Okay, back to you. So then I have terminology, page 10. Now I did make a little mistake here, which I need to change the mistake. I don't know if some people spot it. It's this one. Pima. A is for the ring finger. So that was a typo. So I changed that. Oops, let me clear that bit. Okay. And this is the first song, Farajaka, which you could strum. The easiest is just do a downstroke on beats 1 and 3, or you could do down, up, throughout, or down, up, down, up. Capital D is accented. And here, again, lead sheet, you could pluck the melody. I have a young student who I'm testing with this. She didn't want to see the illustrations because she wanted to draw her own. And it's interesting. She doesn't know all the songs, but she could quickly learn what the songs sound like by reading from the tab, which is good. And then after enough practice, And then this is a different version of Farajaka. I show it as a round. So if people usually when I teach this, they don't look at the music, but this is a way to teach how to read music by having them read the music. And the previous version, I have it in English, French, Chinese, and then additional words. But since I met Bruce, I found out there's also, Bruce and Christine, there's Bruder Jacob, the Dutch version. So maybe I'm tempted to add the Dutch version, the Flemish version. Okay.
And Fra Martino as well. We sang it in
Italian. That's right. That's it.
German is also Bruder Jacob.
Oh, yeah, German. That's what we were singing. We weren't singing it in Flemish. We were singing it in German.
You were doing, okay.
Yeah.
In German. Okay.
I know there's some sort of a Spanish version. It's not the, literal translation like it is when you do German, French, and English. It's all similar.
I think I want to do that because these other verses are not familiar. I hear thunder, oh, don't you? Or there are 7 days in the week. And
right,
then
different.
Yeah, and then people can learn to create their own lyrics, which is fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah, this is fun. Okay, so after Father, I describe what I mean by alternative accompaniments. Oops, what am I doing here? So strumming is the obvious. Okay, what's a strum pattern? So I talk about different ways to do the right hand down, down strum, down pluck, do, 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 do. And then the 3/4 time signature. Let me just get my ukulele. there's so many different ways to accompany songs like this, you know. And alternate between the G and C strings for C chords. So alternate between any two strings. Change the order of the four strings and fingerpick them accordingly. So just choose the pattern you want and make it the same the entire time. So G, C, E, A, we know. G, A, E, C on the C chord would be G, A, E, C, you know. So this is something you could have them choose and create their own accompaniment. Now for 3/4 time, it would just be 3 strings. Again, similar to the previous, choose the order of the strings and do it for the entire song the same way. And then you can combine straight thumb down plug with a down strum. And I talk about rest stroke, what it is, and alternating bass again, and all that. Okay, and then in the sample that you get, you also, you know, the free download, it takes you to, let's see, Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And the reason for these 3 songs is because I've got videos of these 3. I actually did more videos, but these were the 3 I featured on the web page. So Row, Row, Row Your Boat, I'm just gonna have you take a look, and I'll be quiet while I All right, so Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I'm going to change the stereo so you can see here. It's a lead sheet. So the other thing is you can accompany, you could have two or 3 people play. One person can do the strumming, you know, row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row, row, row your boat, right? And then the other person can do the plucking. So if you want to strum along, I'm going to pluck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. And second line. And then it goes on. And then for singing, if, you know, voice class, Bruce and I do a voice over Uke voice class. What you could do is to play the melody, but sing the harmony. So row, and I could see row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, you know, and then merrily, merrily, something like that. So different possibilities for this. Now, if you want to pluck and I strum, we could try that and it would be like a duet. So if you want to pluck, I'll count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I talk about the triplet strum that you could do. You know, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 So that's another different ways to do this song. And then the last song that's in the free download, if you want to get it, is Skip to My Lou. So Skip to My Lou, I have suggested strum pattern to be down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So down, down, up, down, down. Skip, skip, skip to my Lou. Skip, skip. Again, while I'm playing this, you could be plucking it, or you could be singing the, the vocal harmony part. I'll try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip, skip, skip. Yeah. Skip to my Lou. Skip, skip, skip to my Lou. Skip, skip, skip to my Lou. Skip to my Lou, my darling. Okay, and then the second part of it. Now, suppose you want to do the strumming, I'll do the plucking. It'll sound like this. Let me put it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lost my. Ooh, I just noticed. Yeah, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lost my partner. What will I do? Lost my partner. What will I do? Lost my partner. What will I do? Skip to my Lou, my darling. Yeah. Okay. And I think that's basically it. So, what's not in the free download, the 24-page download, are things like, the rest of the, like, I talk about alternative accompaniments, the Alberti accompaniment. I talk about, what else? Oh gosh, I have to go back here. This alternative accompaniment, the Travis picking alternatives, and alternative accompaniments 4. This is the Travis picking, different variations of it. And then table of useful chords. Table of useful chords. So this is according to the circle of fifths, I think. And then, of course, the functions, like the 1, 4, and 5. And before that, I have blank chord diagrams. So this is a useful sheet of paper for you to just write down the name of the chord, the diagram, and also the fret numbers below. And just build your chord vocabulary. A blank chord table, basically see if you can, how many chords do you know in that key. Of course, you could always look at the useful chord thing. And then the series, what we want to do is to continue the series of songs that you already know, everybody knows, so that everything else you're learning is the music itself. You don't have to worry about learning the song because you already know it. So growing up songs, and then I have Chinese songs, and I've already been arranging music of Mozart and Bach and others. As a pianist, I have a huge repertoire to steal from, but I know for ukulele there's very little originally written for the ukulele. So I think that's all that I have. Do you have any questions? Yeah, so here for the hyperlinked version.
Can I just I just
Yes.
thought when you were doing the classical pieces,
Yeah.
the pieces that Yo-Yo Ma does on cello, the solo pieces, that might be one to look at, that set.
Yeah, that's
Because
quite
it's
hard.
just I know, but you might be able to simplify some or just pick out the themes, you know?
Oh, right, right. Yeah. I know it's very popular, the
Yeah,
Jello Sweet and all that. The main
yeah.
problem, let me just go back to the table of contents for people to see and then stop sharing. Okay. Yeah, Monica, thanks for that. I think the main issue with writing for the ukulele is that the range is so small, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good idea though, to see what other people have transcribed for other instruments. So those are
You
the
know,
popular ones.
or
Yeah.
to take a look at the Mozart variations of Twinkle. I mean, obviously not the difficult ones, but just, here's the melody and here's one variation, here's another. That's it.
That's right. That's a good one. Thanks for that suggestion. Okay, Bruce, do you have any thoughts?
Oh, well, I like the your indications of the difficulty level. That's very useful. Um, and I understand that it's not necessarily the level of difficulty of the song itself, but mainly the teaching points that you're trying to incorporate it, especially left-hand technique,
Yes.
um, that kind of thing. Well, left and right, of course. So I think at first people might be bewildered that some songs that are quite simple are listed as a 4, but that's the reason, is because you've incorporated more sophisticated accompaniments.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, like Mary Had a Little Lamb, I actually show two different ways to do chord melody,
Mm.
like block chords or to arpeggiate. Yeah. So I think I could probably explain more. Oops. What I mean by level, the skill level. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Thanks for that, Bruce. Well, all right. Well, this is already available as a 80-page electronic download with navigation. Just order on the web page. I'll put it in the YouTube description where the web page is, so you can find it and download that. Lots of feedback, lots of great quotes. Thank you, Monica, for your quote for reviewing the
So
book. Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to continuing teaching my 5-year-old student. His fingers aren't strong enough to play the ukulele yet, although he has one there, and he's keeps strumming the A minor 7th chord. That's basically what he does. He thinks he's playing different chords, but but the main thing is that he's singing in tune, because then I'm next to him and I'm playing the proper chord, and then I've also tried fingering it. I said, okay, if you want to strum, I already have done that teaching guitar, with first graders. They just, okay, you do this chord, and then they actually are strumming, and then you just do the fingering, and it works.
he does. It's great. And I just have to say this, if you just teach, if he didn't have an instrument, what would he be holding on to? It's a different feeling, isn't it? When you have an
Yes,
instrument, you feel like you're a rock star, you know?
he has that rock star aura already.
Yes, he does. He's great. It's
Yeah, it's
wonderful.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, something to hold on to and almost hide behind in a way.
Yes.
But
Oh,
also,
Monica, just to fill you in, he did the ABC song. So a variation exactly on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So although he did sing Twinkle Twinkle as well
he did.
with the
Yeah,
Twinkle
that was
Twinkle
great.
words.
Yeah, it
So
was
yeah.
wonderful. Really into it. So, okay. Well, thanks so much then for coming to this and giving me suggestions and reacting. I hope it gets used. I hope the word, spread. People will know, so I could work on my other arrangements. That's what I want to do. All right. Yeah, the London Ukulele Project, they're gonna make it available. They're gonna publish it for, the A4 size print and all that. So that's
That's very
really
Nice.
exciting.
nice. Yeah.
Congratulations, Anne.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Well, this one was letter size, so I need to, which is available. So, All right. I'm going to